There we go. It's the countdown.
What's up, Strick? How are you today?
Oh, Brant, man, I'm working hard today. I'm working hard today to get this stuff going. I am ready I'm ready for some hot dogs, man.
Hot dogs. I think I'm going to do ribs tomorrow.
I'm coming to Arkansas.
I can do some really good ribs. I'm really good at ribs.
I believe that.
It's been a while since we cooked them, so I think that's what we're going to. I've been on a diet, so I think this weekend I'm going to be shot. So
Can I tell you what my wife did for me, with this diet thing? What she made me do? She made me drink bone broth.
Bone broth. Yeah, that's supposed to be. Are you doing the keto diet or something like that?
No, it's not even a keto diet. It's the bone broth diet.
Well, I've tried a lot of stuff. I lost about 10 pounds, so I'm pretty happy, but I kind of stuck there, and I just been eating more smaller meals more frequently. So that's worked for me so far, and now it's time to start working out, but trying to get down to, I went, 230 something to 221. I'm trying to get to 220, and then we'll go for 210.
Oh, Brant.
We'll listen, 200.
When we start doing these conferences, man, I'm going to have to keep up with you. I might just have to bring some weights on tour with me so I can work out to be beside you. Yeah.
I got my weight set up over here. I'm getting ready to start, but I was just trying to get to a certain point, right? I got pretty heavy, and I just didn't feel like no energy to do stuff. But I've been working out in the garden. We tore a coworker of mine gave me a free shed. So this weekend we've been tearing apart a shed, and then I got to rebuild it tomorrow. So I'm pretty wore out. So
that's what's up. I saw you had your wife on the shed, man. I was on the top of the shed taking it down. Brant, come on, man. I know somebody had to take the picture, but she's on top of the shed. What's going on?
The shed is for her scooter. She called me last week. She called me and said, meet me at the motorcycle shop. She bought a 125 Honda scooter. I had to ride it home for her because she doesn't have a license yet. She's decided she's going to get her license. So we needed a place to keep it. So we found the shed, and, free is good. A little work. That's fine.
So it is going to be a she shed.
Well, she said it's a we shed. I don't know if you've seen her comment. We got other stuff to put in there, but she need a place for her ride. So I'm really excited for her. Yeah. So she's it's been a lot of fun. We've been going out in the evenings and, trying to teach her how to ride, but, she's it'd be great. Well, we're both really conscious about the environment, and, scooters are the best way to get around. It's fun. You get umpteen, 100 miles a gallon with gas prices going up. So,
man, that's really cool, man. Well, let me say this. Congratulations to you on the invitation from Ecamm to be a part of the Leap into Live Stream boot camp, man. Congratulations, sir.
Well, congratulations to you for being my co-host to be the MCs for the event, and I think we're excited about that. That's kind of what we have set out to do, and this will be our first gig like that. And thank you to Ecamm. They sent us some rocket books. Maybe we'll talk about that in a later show. I've been trying to play with that a little bit, but we're so excited to do Leap Into Live in September, and we'll be sharing more about that later on. So, it'll be Strick and I'll be your, I guess, would you call us MCs, hosts?
Come on. I'm the MC of MCs. I'm your MC's favorite MC.
You're the DJ MC,
right.
MC DJ. Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. Of course, when we get a chance to do stuff like this together, I'm talking about, so I've had a lot of co-hosts over the years, and the best co-hosts always have the best chemistry. Chemistry is important between people, especially when you have to co-host, because I just believe in being in sync, and one of the ways that you're in sync is having that natural chemistry, and we just do that. So I think it's really cool.
I think our only problem is we both like to talk, and once we figured out how to pause for each other, we're doing great.
That's it. I mean, but come on, that's what we are, right? I mean, we're talkers. That's why we're in the business.
Crockett and Tubbs, I keep telling everybody.
There you go.
What is the Don Lemon and what's the other guy's name? On CNN, Cuomo.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's who we are, man.
Exactly. Man, you know how the countdown goes, right? We got a great show. We're actually going to do some coaching live right here on the Stream Shop. absolutely never, Brant, never gets old. My name is
It
Strick. He
doesn't.
is Brant, and we are the Stream Guys, and you're watching the Stream Show right now. So Sunday nights, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and everybody in the West is earlier than it is
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. That sounds funny, but we're guests on Rob Balasavas' show on Friday sometimes. There's people from England,
Australia. And
Australia. I think we had
I met
Korea,
Stream from Australia.
South Korea. Yeah.
Oh man, it's great being on Rob's show and people from all over the world, Brant.
Yeah, and that's why we're really conscious about time zones, because we've got people from all over that watch us right now. And, it's Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully everybody's enjoying this great weather that we've had here. I don't know about Alabama, but in Arkansas, we've been doing really, really well. The weather's great. It's really cool, cooler than normal. But, tomorrow's all about Memorial Day and remembering those who lost their lives to keep us free. So happy Memorial Day to everybody out there.
Definitely happy Memorial Day to you guys as you celebrate your loved ones and that may have passed away. Listen, the most important thing of our freedoms are the people that fight for us. So you're right for mentioning that, Brant, and we are fighting as well for you. The purpose of this show is to help streamers succeed. And Brant, man, we have a streamer on today that we're going to get a chance to coach live, and I'm so excited about this.
Man, I'm excited too.
This is like one of the things that we love to do, but we haven't been able to capture our coaching sessions. So
That's true. That's true.
Why not do it live, right?
That's what this show's about. If you can learn and we can help her learn and other people can, take the information and run with it, then more power to everyone, right?
That being said, guys, if you're watching, please make a comment. Let us know where you're watching from, and share this with people that you know. Let them know the stream show is on. And we're going to talk about the basics of streaming today as we do this coaching session. And we have a young lady that reached out to us wanting to be a guest on the show because she really needed help. So we're appreciative that she's willing to come on, and we're going to be helping her, coaching from an aspect that we want her to level up. That's the only way you could do it, right, is leveling up. And Nancy, thank you for watching. My man Alicio Wade, we got him coming up in just a minute as well. And another friend of mine, Dexter from Opelika, Alabama. So all of my people
Opelika, Alabama. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, that's where I grew up, Brant. And country boy I am. And thank you, Dexter, for checking us out today. We're going to go ahead and get started with Valerie. We're going to bring her on and introduce her to everybody. And we'll get started with our coaching session today. So if you're out there and you really want to get started with streaming, this is a session for you. You need to watch this, and this is what we do. So if you're saying, hey, how can you guys help me? Because we say we're helping streamers. We do this privately as well. So whether it's Brant or myself or us together, we could help you. So without further ado, let me bring her on really quick. And Valerie, I hope you're ready for us to come to you. I needed to be ready, right? So, again, without further ado, let me go ahead and bring on Valerie. There we go. There she is, Valerie. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. I am great. So glad, again, for your willingness to come in and be a part of this show. Brent and I are excited to have you on. So let me ask you this question to get started.
Okay.
Why did you reach out to the stream show?
Well, I reached out to you guys because I have seen your show and I know that that is what you do. You focus on helping streamers. And I recently got into this live streaming life and I am having some difficulty. So I needed your help.
Okay. So why did you get started streaming? Like, what's the idea for you? Like the calling for you to be out on YouTube?
Okay. During the pandemic, You know, it was difficult for a lot of us being at home and isolated, and I was craving community. And I previously served as a church clerk where I had to put together resolutions for individuals that were deceased. And I was always captured by their stories,
Hmm.
learning information about them, things that I never knew, you know, finding out that someone was the first black fire chief in that city. Those are things, people have stories, they
Right.
have gifts and talents, and they deserve to be heard and to be shared. And so I wanted to be able to get to know those people and to share their stories and learn more about them.
Well, that's awesome that you would do that and actually want to produce it and share it with the whole world. So, are these people that you know or people that you're getting to know?
It is both, actually.
Okay, that's awesome. So, how did you figure out what you needed to get started?
Well, actually, of course, during the pandemic, we're all online. So you're surfing through YouTube, and I came across several different channels, and getting to finally coming across Kirk's channel and how it all works, and individuals who were assisting you with if you had dreams and if you had goals and things that you wanted to do, you know, putting those ideas down and actually getting started. And so when I spoke with them, it was pretty much, you have everything you need to get started. Why are you waiting? Just go
Awesome.
ahead and get started. And
Right?
so I kind of jumped in.
That's awesome. That's the best way to do it. You know, a lot of people are want it to be perfect or want to, worried about how they're going to look the first time. But one of the things
Yes.
we believe here is just jump in. You're going to make mistakes, but you can't practice this stuff and then go live because things change, things happen, and you just kind of figure out your voice. You just got to go live because you're not really gonna. It's hard on YouTube or Facebook or any place else to get a ton of views. So you have time. You have time to practice. You have time to figure it out and find your voice. And I mean, kudos to you for just jumping in.
Yes, it's a little frightening, but I'm here. So,
Yes, you are.
so
Yes, you are here, and we'll appreciate you being open and honest with us today, and your willingness to say, "Hey, guys, help me out," because sometimes people, they never want to expose their learning process. Everybody thinks, "Hey, I need to look like CNN today," and it's no way because CNN didn't look like CNN when they started. So it took some time for any production to grow, to learn, and to look better. So this is just your beginning process. Our job is to help you succeed. So what we're gonna do right now is I want to go to your latest video that you posted on YouTube. Take a look
okay.
at it, and hopefully you guys will be able to hear it and all of that. So let me do some rearranging here
Okay.
so that I can actually hear this. There we go. New scene.
And let us know who you are. Say hello. We want to connect with you. So make sure that you do that.
Brant, can you hear that?
Checking us out
I can.
again on the replay.
It's a little low.
Yeah. Let us know.
Okay, let me turn this up.
It is Tuesday, 7 p.m. We are
There you go.
ready for Silk Masquerades. And we're going to talk about last week. Last week, we had fitness, nutrition specialist, health coach, Brandon Howard joined us, and he gave us some information, told us who he was and how he.
I like that. So
I
let me
do
go
too.
right back to this. Valerie, this is your latest program, and I know we just got a couple of scenes there or a couple of seconds there, but you have
Uh
a
huh.
rolling ticker. You got a lower third. You're able to put pictures up. Tell us what you think about how you're doing so far.
Well, of course, I'm using the and now I'm drawing a blank. The
StreamYard?
Yes,
Got you.
StreamYard. I wanted to
StreamYard.
say live stream.
Uh-huh.
StreamYard platform. And I wanted to be able to actually continue to use that until I got to where I was more comfortable with it. And of course, then last week, I actually won a subscription for Ecamm.
That's
So
awesome.
That's
I'm being
awesome.
shoved into into that platform, and I am trying to make sure that I am ready to do that.
Shouts out again to Ecamm. Brandon and I
Yeah,
are
from Kirk.
Ecammers, and Kirk
Uh-huh.
Right.
Nugent actually gave you that. So shouts out to him. He's got a
Yes.
conference coming up. So everybody, how it all works, WERKS. So check him out. You can search how it all works with a E on the works and see about his conference as well that he's doing. Big shouts out to him. And so you found him, you won Ecamm, but right now you're using StreamYard to actually produce your shows. Are you doing the switching yourself?
I am.
Oh,
I
that's
built
great.
Very good.
everything in Canva.
There we go.
So
We
I'm
love
using
Canva.
Canva. And so that's where I built everything in Canva and then imported it into StreamYard.
Man,
Well, I'll
that
just
is
say right now,
awesome.
she's leaps beyond what most people are when they start out. So you've already figured out how to use Canva. StreamYard is awesome to start for people who want to get started. I use Ecamm at work. I'm sorry, StreamYard. I've used StreamYard at work as well. It's easier to start with when you're first getting started before you move into some. Ecamm is more of an upgrade, but
Well,
um,
StreamYard is a free version, isn't it? The beginning is free.
yeah, there's a beginning version. I think there's the pro. I mean, you can for
Yes,
$20 a
there's a
month. I
pro
think.
level.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
pro level's $20 a month. Restream has the same kind of product where you can do, and the difference when a lot of people just to let people know, Restream, StreamYard, they work in the cloud. Ecamm lives on your Mac. It's yours. You can control everything. So that's kind of why I use it, or all of us Ecammers use it because it is your computer. You control it. You can kind of tweak it, make it how you want it. You're not just put into some templates. So a little more challenging, but you'll be way happier with it when you're done.
Okay, great. I'm looking forward to it.
So what are some of the other challenges you felt like you've had with your show since you started, technical wise?
Well, technical wise, I struggle with the lighting, but then I eventually picked up the softbox lighting kit. So I have
Okay.
that, and then on my desk, I have an LED lamp that I'm also using. And I didn't really want to do anything elaborate. So, I have this background here, and I'm okay with it. I know, I enjoy watching and seeing everybody else's fabulous studio, but I'm okay with it the way that, just using this background. But then I had difficulty with my camera. So
Okay.
I purchased a webcam. And so I'm using that. And
What kind of webcam is it that you're using now?
well, right now it's a no name.
I got you.
I
I
don't
got
even
you.
know what it is.
Is
And so actually I do. It is this.
Okay.
okay.
Did you get that off of Amazon? Maybe.
Off of Amazon.
There you go.
And but then, I'm not really able to do much with it. So I decided to purchase a Logitech Pro. And
Okay.
so that's what I did. So I'm going to be installing that. And but I've gotten to a place where I feel a little more comfortable with the webcam. And so s- my struggle right now, as you heard, is that audio.
So
Right.
let me ask you this question before we move to the audio thing, because
Okay.
there's a couple of things I would Brandon's helped me with, and I with lighting. Lighting is really really important. Do you have more space in that room to move away from your background?
Um, no,
So
Okay.
not really.
that is a where you are. You can't move further or backwards. It's got to. That being said, like if you can't move away from that background, I need. Well, let me not say I need. Uh,
Okay.
Darker tones on that background will help you. because what the
Okay.
camera is trying to do now is seeing the white or light tones, and it's
Uh-huh.
trying to color correct for that, which makes you look darker.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay,
okay.
so what you want to
Hmm.
do is find a backdrop that has a little darker tones. It doesn't have to be black or gray. It's just whites and yellows are going to confuse that camera as far as how it's going to look. I'm saying this because you'll get the Logitech, which is you say, oh, I pay more money for this. Everybody talks
Yes.
about how good it is. I got all these lights and I still look like this, and it's going to do the exact same thing. Am I right, Brant?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it might do a little bit better. One of the things you could do is, so that is a real backdrop, correct?
Yes, it is.
It's not a green screen. So you could do is add a light behind you to kind of do a backlight to separate you, but also is look at the way you have your light positioned. Is it's probably filling more of the background than it is focused on you, because I
Okay.
can't tell with that camera. It still looks dark. If I don't know how far that softbox is, but you might move it closer to you and point it down
Okay.
or lower the stand so it's really on you only and let the background disappear. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, it does.
And then, um, you know, the with the new camera, it might have better lighting. You can adjust a few things, but yes, Strick is right. Is that background and your skin tone are competing, and the
Okay.
camera sees that bright. So right now, if we're looking at the white roses really pop, and that's what's really, so that's either the camera adjusting for that or your lights really focused on that area of the backdrop.
Is there a
Okay.
way? Is there a way that could you move it now and see if it makes a difference where you're moving some of the light off the background?
Sure. I can move it.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
Doesn't get any better, everybody, than live coaching.
Brett and I do this from time to time. We get a chance to do it together. I
Right.
actually started doing some of this on my own, and Brent has some people that he actually has a business. Brent, if you'll talk about that a little bit as well, some of the things you're getting a chance to do in Arkansas.
Yeah, so what I've done is my Arkansas Economic Development Commission reached out to us or to me, and there were some grants for businesses to try to compete with, during the COVID issues. And I'm helping 4 clients right now kind of change their sales and tactics to live video. So that's going to help them. And that was all grants. So they didn't have to spend anything, and I got to be able to help them. So it's really excited to do that.
Okay,
See
so
that? I
now
think we already see a little bit of difference there.
we did, and then the LED that you just turned on is focused on that
Yeah.
the background as well. Is there a way that you can position it to where it's not as much on the background at all?
More on you.
Sure. Should it be on me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So we're trying to get all of the light that we possibly can off of the
Oh,
background.
there you go. Yeah, that's a lot better. Do you
Is
see the
that better?
difference when you're looking in the monitor,
I
correct?
do. I
There you
do.
go. That. And so, we could probably even boost that light even more to help accentuate your features.
Alicia
And
was saying there that the camera's going to try to focus on the brightest thing in the room.
right. Well,
Okay.
in the new Logitech camera is going to be a big upgrade.
Got you.
So, and we'll probably have to, we could offline get with you when you're doing set up that camera, because it's going to have a little bit bigger sensor. I think it's 1080p, right? It's doing
Yes.
1080p. So there's some adjustments in Logitech cameras. You do have brightness and contrast settings, so you could tweak with some of that a little bit. So that will help a lot.
Okay.
But
So-
even that has helped a lot.
It has. So, of course, during this time, we're not going to be able to, like if we were offline, would take all the time to get it right, based on
Right,
the
right.
time that we have on the show. What we wanted to
Exactly.
show you what we wanted to show is getting the light off your backdrop. It allows that camera system, sensor to refocus on you or the color. It's trying to get to the brightest thing. So,
Okay.
my first step, of course, was to, hey, can we get away from the backdrop? If we can't get
Right.
away from the backdrop, let's get the lights off the backdrop and to where the lights are just on you, and it makes a
Okay.
big difference. So continue to tweak that for yourself, and turning it away, whatever you can do. Softboxes really work, but they work even better if they're positioned right, like they're almost. What do you say? Is it
Can you touch
45 degree?
Yeah, can you touch yours from where you're sitting, Strick?
No.
I can.
Okay.
I can.
Yeah,
I can
so
touch
Strick's
mine
is
from where I'm sitting.
It's super
Okay.
close.
Okay.
And another thing you could do is I help Strict with this too. People of color are different than myself. And we put a yellow, it's called a bastard amber gel on his. It's like an orange gel that will help your skin glow. And you just have to have more light. And then that's just, if you can reach out and probably touch that light, it would probably make a big difference in getting it that close. And then, let me see.
Hey, Brant, I can't let you go over that fast. I really want to stop you. With our colors from the cameras, you have amber light and you have daylight. Okay. Most of us, I did it. I went to the daylight. Oh, I need to have daylight on me. I need it as bright as possible so my camera the sensor in my camera can pick it up, all the light, and all it did was just wash me out.
Okay.
All right. So to be honest with you, there's a combination between the amber and daylight. I am using, and I'm gonna demonstrate this. I am using that. Say it again. The bastard amber.
Bastard amber gel. It's just a colored gel. Yeah, I don't think I have one here.
I'm telling you. I mean, the gel cost me $6, $12 with shipping. Let me tell you something. I got a sheet of it, 20 by 20. And I was able, or 22 by 22 or something, I was able to cut it and put it in my softbox. But I also have a field light right here. And I'm going to show you what this field light looks like with and without this amber gel, just to show you that Brant knows what he's talking about. I don't know why I'm doing this to
And
help
actually,
him
it
out.
was my wife that taught me this years ago. So I had to give her all the credit for that. But it is... and we all have to remember that, if we're all different skin tones, and you have to think not all one, when you look at websites and you look at Elgato key lights, you look at all these different sites and they're all like, they're just talking, right? They're not thinking about all the individual scenarios. So we all have different skin tones. We all can sit so far away from the backdrop, so it's all, you just have to really work on yourself and what There you go.
So this is what it's the field light off. This is what the field light on, and I turned it up than what I would normally do.
Okay.
This is with that filter out. All right, and this is with the filter on. It's a subtle change, but it's
But you can see it.
enough to where I feel like it just gives me a better look for my skin tone.
Okay.
So there you go.
Let me show everybody another trick too. Is you can go down to your local hobby store and you can buy. This is, foam board. So buy a black foam board. It's light. It's cheap. You cut it, and you can make flags. And so what you can do is you can flag lights. See how that is cutting off my face? I can actually use a flag to cut light off of the background. Like if I don't want it to, my light's far away, but I can place a flag to make sure that certain light areas don't, show. Same thing if you want. So you can put a flag above your light and not get it to be hitting on your backdrop as much. So those are, inexpensive things. I try to buy lights if you're going to I bought a newer light. That's not what I'm using right now, but when I buy a light, I try to buy one with barn doors that already have the little barn doors so you can close them and kind of control the light. So that way you can and one of the things too that people don't remember, or when we think about lighting, a lot of people in cinematography and video, it's more about the shade, right? You're using shadows to sculpt your face, so it's not just all the lights on, you've got to kind of sculpt your face and show the features that you want to know. Like I have a round face. That's why I grow a beard. It helps. But to shadow some of that and make it look more chiseled than I am. But Strick doesn't have that problem because he's
Listen,
chiseled
Adam.
already.
Listen. Well, thank you so very much for saying that. Lighting
Oh,
is very.
one real quick, one
Yes, sir.
quick thing too. I noticed you have the same issue I have as we have classes. So I always put my light a little bit higher than everybody because I don't want to see those spots right there.
Yes.
So that's a challenge. And if you can, when you go get glasses, you can get anti-reflective coating. I always try to get that ever since I've been in TV, and I knew that I could get that. I paid the extra for anti-reflective coating, but you will have to put your lights a little bit higher than everyone else because you don't want to see the spots
Right.
in your eyes like you see right there. So, and that's always a challenge, you know.
That's good. So that's lighting, and man, I know the next time you go live, it's gonna look so much better when you implement some of these things. So let's talk about the audio now. I know that you
Yes.
said you've had issues. I actually watched one of your episodes, and I could hear the guest, and I couldn't hear you as well. And trying to keep it with those levels. Was it just something with the equipment that you couldn't get the levels right, or is that just something that you were still learning how your output or how to monitor your stream?
I actually think that it is definitely the equipment that I'm using because I have the Rode podcast mic,
Hmm.
and I have seen plenty of other people using this mic, and it sounds great. And so, but for me, I decided that, starting out, I didn't want to put out a lot of money and not exactly know what I was doing or I'm learning.
Right,
And I
right.
didn't want to purchase the wrong thing. So I purchased a Monocaster um, podcaster audio interface.
Okay.
And I don't think that it is compatible with this Rode podcast mic. And so I am continually having difficulty when I bring my guest on. I can hear it just fine. It's not the best, but I can hear it just fine when I'm speaking alone. But when I pull my guest in, the volume goes down on it. So I'm having trouble controlling that. I purchased a cloud lifter, and for some reason, even the cloud lifter is not working with this mixer and my microphone. So I'm struggling trying to get that
I,
together.
I'm not familiar with that interface. Brant, are you?
We looked it up online. There's two or three different versions, and she got one that's not the XLR version, and she's trying to convert from XLR to Mini 3.5, and there is some issue there. We tried off before we went live. We tried to coach her through some of this. In you've got to look at the compatibility issues. You got to look at the type of tips on your, connectors, whether it's a TRS or TRSS. There's all these different things. One of the things she did have is an M audio unit that we kind of got that working. But I think it's just going to take some audio tweaks. I think Ecamm will help a lot too, is because Ecamm, you can
Okay.
control each individual guest, and it's hard to do that. I don't even know if you have that opportunity or that function in StreamYard. You don't really have any control in StreamYard. So in Ecamm,
No.
right. And so in Ecamm, you'll be able to see 1, 2, 3, 4 guests, and actually everybody has their own channel that you can control the level. And I think we discussed that you were interested in getting the Rode Procaster, and I think that of course, that's made to work with your microphone, and that'll probably be a big help. And it is complicated. Audio is some of the most complicated stuff to make all the connections work, to make all the cables work. There's so many different cables, so it really takes it takes some thought and some input from professionals or people that know audio. Because I've done it too. I've bought cables. It should work. It doesn't work. you know.
Brant, let me ask you this question. I mean, and I know we all use Rodecaster. Well, I have a Rodecaster. Brant
Yeah, and you
uses
don't
a
use it.
Rodecaster. I have a Native Instrument Complete 6 USB interface that I use along with a mixer. every now and again, my wife is she's an artist, so she has to play using my system. So I just have extra inputs there, and I know the setup, and I didn't want to change things and not be
Yeah, I
ready
got you.
for her. I do need to put the roadcaster up, but I also think based on where she is, she's already bought the pod mic. She already has a cloud lifter, the Focusrite, and I'm trying to think of an interface that would be,
I,
$100, $120
I, I
instead of.
think I think she can make the M audio work.
Gotcha.
We just gonna
Okay.
take a little bit of time. There might be some drivers down. I've not used the M audio, but M audio is, one of the top three brands in all of this kind of stuff. So, we played with it a little bit before we went live. We just didn't have time to tweak it. So for me, instead of spending money on the
The
Roadcaster,
roadcaster.
unless you just have the money and you want to spend it, I would tweak and work with the M audio unit and kind of make that work. Because I think it had two mic inputs, so you could
It's
you
just one.
oh, just one. Okay, so you
Yes.
have the one mic input. If we could get the pod mic, save you some money, get a few episodes into it before you invested in the the Procaster or Roadcaster Pro. But if it's in your
Okay.
budget, and you want to spend the money, I love the Roadcaster. I've been very,
Okay.
very happy with it, especially if you're going to do interviews, because there are, things to do phone interviews. There's Bluetooth. You can hook it up to your phone. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities there.
Okay.
Um, and I will say this about the Roadcaster. I usually use, just to make sure, like Strick is talking about, I started with a Behringer mixer or a Yamaha mixer. I am used to all manual controls. The one of the things I had to get used to is the Roadcaster kind of does it all for you.
Right.
It's made to just kind of make it work, and
Okay.
you don't really get to tweak a lot. So that in your situation, it'd be perfect for that.
Yes,
And then you get the
exactly.
added function of things like the laugh tracks and all that fun stuff if you're doing interviews and podcasts. So I highly recommend it, but I think you could make the M audio work, for, say 4 or 5 more shows, or until you feel like you're financially in that place that you decide, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I'm really going to invest in this.
Okay, great.
And wanted to
Perfect.
give you that just to stay balanced, because there are people out there that they're getting started just like you. The Roadcaster is definitely pro level, and it's where I think everybody should try to go. But if you want to get one microphone to work inside of your computer, what you have should work, or there are other, $100 is a great budget for something I think that should work for your system. Now, the Rodecaster Pro, $699, and it's got all the bells and whistles, compressors, and all kind of software inside of it to make you sound golden, like
Okay.
Brant over there. But there are other
Uh-huh.
ways to kind of get started. That being said, that's the audio piece. Do you have any other questions about that?
No, I don't think so. I'm going to try to use the M audio and see how far I can get with
With
that.
that.
And if not, then we will have to go the route of the Rodecaster Pro.
So we were having some issues earlier, and I have to say we're actually hearing you from audio from your MacBook Pro, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Uh, and I gotta say it, from we're all Mac users, and they just make good products. Of course,
Uh-huh.
we understand there's a little bit of the fan noise that we can hear, but it was
Mm-hmm.
much better than all the other audio issues that you were having. And I wanted to say that to people that are still trying to figure this stuff out. You really have to crawl before you walk. And then there is a point that you will be downright sprinting through this, but understanding all of the aspects of what you have, troubleshooting it, getting on shows or being around people like Brent and myself, it really will help you down the road. So we talked about lighting, we talked about audio. What is the next thing?
Lighting, audio. I Brent kind of mentioned it, being able to control what's happening on the other side for my guests when there are large amounts of echo and not being able to control that for them. And so that's one thing. I've not really had any trouble um, contacting guests or getting guests to schedule
That's good.
to come and
Yeah.
talk. I'm booked through July,
Oh
so
man, that's awesome.
Very
um,
good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
So my main like thorn in my side has been this audio. So I'm looking forward to being able to take what you guys have given me and to use that to make it better.
And
Oh
I
man,
think Ecamm will help. And I think the other thing for the echoey part is DJ will, I'm going to speak for you here, DJ.
thank you.
Strick will send you our pre-show checklist, and that is
Okay.
he has a form, or he has like a form letter that he sends to all of our guests that lets them know, number one, please have headphones, and how they can get set up to make it better. Because everybody wants to be on and are like all excited, but they don't know that they need headphones, and they're just used to Zoom calls and stuff. So I'm sure Strick can get your email
But
address after this.
I send that to them. It's in my communication.
Oh, it is. Okay.
It is in the communication. So, then when you get to the setting and it's do you have your your headsets or your earbuds, and it's like no. So, that's one of those things I guess that
So
happens and can't control it.
it happens. You can't control it. I will say this. What you want to do the very best that you can to communicate. So I've learned if you saw what I sent you, let me ask you this question. Did you read it?
Yes, I
Okay, why
did.
did you read it?
I read it because I knew that I would probably miss something. And to be completely honest, the first time around I did.
I got you.
So I had to go back and read it again. So I think that may be a part of it. So I may need to put in an additional check and balance to make sure that happens
And
for
even
my
doing it
guests.
a couple of times and making it really short. So there is a list that I would send you that's almost 12 different things of guest instructions.
Okay.
I have the hot buttons are, of course, headphones based on how we're using Ecamm. If they don't have headphones, there's going to be an echo. Having a great microphone and then being set up to. I had a huge. I had Ruben stuttered on my show, Brant, and Ruben was holding his phone, like holding his phone. Now, the audio was great, but he was holding his phone. Like, I mean, I put it up, of course, because it's Ruben stuttered, and I love him. He's a friend of mine, but having a camera that was actually set up in front of him would have looked tremendously better. That being
Right, right.
said, uh, the hot buttons that I need, I try to get that over to guests more if they're inexperienced and haven't done it. I put more information. I will say this, the next thing for me is a good 20 to 30-second video that explains the instructions.
There
Oh,
you
Most
go.
people
That'll
would
help.
watch that 20-second to 30-second video, then they would try to read. And you're just going through
okay.
the tips really, really quick, and people will click on it and listen to it. Just don't make it long. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be any longer than a minute. I say
Okay.
shorter the better, 20 to 30 seconds. You can pretty much say everything you need to say, and they would have gotten the instructions. That
Okay,
being,
great.
go ahead.
I also try to explain to everybody is that, we love having guests on our show and we want you to be on our show, but we also want you to be the best version of you on our show. So we're trying
Right.
to help that person, excel. So, and I know Strick sends out a couple of emails. So sometimes two to three emails work, because you don't read the first one. Yeah, I'll get to it. Then the day before you're on the show, we've had, I think it was Henny. We had Henny the business on, and he was like, I just got the email. I kind of forgot I was on the show.
Right.
So,
Oh,
that last minute email made a big difference. So,
okay.
over communicate because people are lazy and they don't look at their stuff. I do
Okay.
it. I pass it over. That's not coming up till 2 weeks. I'm not gonna look at it.
Right, right.
Well, Valerie, thank you so very much for reaching out
Thank
to
you
us.
guys.
And I already know that these small little tweaks here is going to make a big difference. Continue to work on the placement of your lights to
Uh-huh.
get the best. And I know it will look better once you put the Logitech connection as well. So,
Okay.
Brent, what do you say we need to check in with her when she does those updates?
Yeah, let's have her back on the show, and say, you know, what, 4 weeks or so when you kind of had some chance to tweak through it. We'll reach back out. We'll talk you through it, and then we'll show everybody the changes you've made. And especially, we're excited to see how you feel and how it all looks after you start using Ecamm, because I really know you'll be super excited and pleased with that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you all so much.
No
Thank you.
problem, Valerie. Thanks for coming on, and we'll be contacting you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Brent, that was really cool, brother. You did a great
Yeah,
job with that.
you always do a great job with it, and I think one of the things that we talked about. I'm going to take a little bit of credit. We were trying to talk about, what is our show going to be, and we sent draftsmen back and forth. We had these long mission statements, and we kind of edited it all down to we help streamers succeed. Doesn't get any easier than that. We want to help you be the best version of you, whether you're a host, whether you're a guest. I think Strick calls me all the time. Turn it to CNN. There's a CEO of a Fortune 500 company with no earbuds, and he looks no lighting and no makeup. He's sweating. I mean, don't these people understand? And I know that's one of Strick's passions. He's like, we've got to speak to
We
all
got to
these
help. We got to help them.
high-powered people in the world. Like, you know, it doesn't take a lot. You just need to ask a few questions, take a little bit of time, invest in a little bit of minor things. And I'm super frugal, so I don't have the money to go spend on $600 lights. And I do this professionally. So, I mean, I try to be very budget friendly. And right now, newer products on Amazon, I'm going to speak for them. I think that they're great. I think the price point is great. So I can get two newer lights for what I could get one Elgato key light, right?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
look at Amazon. Amazon's your friend. I know Strick is a big proponent of Marketplace on
Marketplace.
Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting used cameras. This camera that I'm using right here is probably 7, 8, 9 years old. It's a professional video camera that I use. So we are about, you don't have to spend a ton of money. And the frustrating part is we know a lot of people that spend a ton of money
Right.
and still have issues, right? And they get mad. Like, I just spent all this money. Why does it still look this way? Because there's a lot of moving pieces.
That's right.
And, but number one that I will always say, and I want to tell this to everybody right now, content is king. Have a good show, have good topics, have good guests, be a good host. So there's a lot of that Strick takes care of, and his coaching, his personal coaching to help people with that. And I think that's just as important. So you can have a crappy video and a crappy audio if you have a super awesome show, right?
Exactly.
And you can have the best looking show with all the bells and whistles and all the graphics. It can be so boring and nobody will watch it. So, there's that sweet spot. Content is king. It's your message that makes the most first, and the rest will come. And I think one of the things that we've always tried to tell everybody is just kind of one thing at a time, right? And so trying to find, I got to buy the audio, I got to buy the video, I got the cameras. Pick one thing. Let's work on that one thing. When you feel like you got the audio figured out, move to the camera. When you go to the camera, move to the lighting, So don't get overwhelmed. It's like the old saying, eat an elephant, do it one bite at a time. If you think about it all, it just becomes a little overwhelming. At least for me, that's how I work.
Right. Right. Well, today, again, that was a great opportunity for us to show you guys what we do kind of in private. Please hit us up. Go to the website, thestreamshow.live. Again, that's thestreamshow.live. And there's a button that says if you want us to review your channel. We still haven't updated that tab. It is not reviewing your channel. It's an opportunity for you to be a guest on our show, whether you're showing us your production setup from behind the stream that's actually sponsored by Ecamm, or if you would like for us to actually do a session live with you on our show. We love doing this. We're here to help you. So go to thestreamshow.live and please click that button, fill out the information, and we'll contact you about having an opportunity to come on this show.
I've posted all that into the chat comment, so you can click on that there. You can also look, if you want to try Ecamm for free, you can click on our trial link. That is a free trial of Ecamm. And if you want to support this show, I also shared our Buy Us a Coffee. It's Buy Me a Coffee, but we split that. So anything you want to donate there would be greatly appreciated.
We do appreciate it. And, man, let's just keep this thing rolling. Something for you guys right here. I told you guys we had a guest, and we have one of my friends on the show today, and I'm not talking about Brant. You already heard from Brant. I'm talking about Alicio Way. You see him on the screen right here.
Well,
hey,
what's
man.
up, y'all?
Thank you so very much for taking the time to hang out with us today. This is the Ecamm behind the stream setup. Like, did I get that right, Brant? Am I saying it right?
That is right. It's behind the stream, powered by Ecamm. And so what we're going to do in this segment is look at Ecamm creators, streamers, and see what they've started with, what is the minimum they started with, and how they have grown over the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, and kind of let you out there watching see how easy it is to start, but how much you can grow.
There you go. There you go. So, Alicio, if you know him, you know he has tons of equipment now. So we're going to actually start with, Alicio, can you show us like what you started with Ecamm?
Yeah, well, with Ecamm?
Well, no, not with Ecamm.
Yeah,
when you started doing video.
Yeah, when I started live streaming in 2017, I kind of wish I did have that setup. But I don't really have anything still from that setup. I was actually using some dollar store poster boards, the green poster boards. I would use these dollar store poster boards, and I would stick them behind me for a green screen.
Right.
And I would actually just do green screen through OBS. But now I'm going, since I have a better camera, better system, I just kind of go with a natural setup. But the camera that I was using, I still have that camera, and it is this little guy right here. Hey, it is the Logitech C920. And to be honest with you, I got this camera 2012, 2013. I bought it for, at that time, it was about $75. And man, I actually really liked this camera for what it was worth back in the day for Zoom calls and stuff like that. And then when I got into live streaming, it was actually, believe it or not, in 2017, pre-Rona, of course, it was still one of the higher quality cameras that you could ask for. So, I mean,
now is it a 1080,
autofocus.
1080p?
Go ahead.
Is it 1080p?
Yep, it's 1080p, HD.
Go.
Yeah, autofocus and whatnot. But now, I'm using this guy right here. So, yeah, any questions? Go ahead.
Yeah. Tell us, let's just start with, we're part of the SN7B Boy Club, but let's start with the audio setup that you have.
Yeah. Okay. So audio setup right now, let's go to this scene right here. So I have two things. I have the Focusrite. This is the trusty. Y'all can see that, right?
Yes, we can. Right. We got it.
Okay, yeah. So this is pretty much like what I've been using since 2015, 2016, 2017 is the Focusrite. Real trusty machine, man. Like it's plug and play. You know what I'm saying? I still recommend this for most streamers, you know what I'm saying? Because it's absolutely plug and play. You can't go wrong. But now I have upgraded to this joint, and this is the let me actually go to this camera. This is my first time doing this, but I have this joint, which is the Rodecaster Pro. We're not going to talk bad about it right now, but it's a $600 device, and it's pretty good. You can do, all of your like sound effects. Can y'all hear that?
Yeah, we got it. That sounds good.
Yeah, cool. And if you didn't know, I got a show called
Creators on the Come Up.
Yep. So that's Creators on the Come Up.
Love
all
that.
Your triggers and
that's
all
awesome.
of your all your sound effects and stuff in there. So my setup is an absolute mess right now. But so just to answer your question about audio, this is what I use now. But I still use my Scarlett for music because I still record music, and for some reason I just feel more safe just recording with my Focusrite. And I just feel like it's more trusty to do like vocals and like instruments, guitar, keyboards. I still run everything through my Focusrite. But for live streaming, I use that.
let's explain something real quick for people who don't understand. So these devices that he's showing, that the red device and the Scarlet and the Rodecaster are USB devices that connect to your computer that lets you connect XLR or quarter-inch jack, professional microphones, guitars, inputs. So if you're getting a new computer, right, we're all using Ecamm that works on a Mac, and you're going to have to be able to get 1, 2, 3 audio channels into your computer. You can either do it with a USB microphone like the Shure MV7 that I'm using here, or you can do it XLR, which I actually am doing through my Rodecaster. But there's tons of input devices made by a lot of different companies, so you can start, you know, just like Alicio did. He started inexpensive, one microphone, kind of get started, and then upgrade from there.
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, I was using a Audio-Technica AT2020 or AT2035 with the Focusrite. I have the Audio-Technica in the closet now, but I love that microphone. I did mostly all my old YouTube videos with that microphone. But then, you know, I just wanted to be a part of the SM7B club because, you know, you see all the ballers with the SM7B. And I said, hey, you know, I know it sounds good, but, you know, it's kind of like brand recognition. That's kind of why I went with this. But it still sounds good as well. So, cool.
Right.
That's what's up. So tell us about the camera that you're using now.
Yeah. So the camera that I'm using right now is it's called a Canon M50. This is it right here. Can you see it?
I can.
We can.
So, yep, it's the Canon M50. This one is actually the Mark II, but this is my first time actually using the Mark II in my live setup. I usually just use the regular, I usually use the regular M50 just because I'm used to it. But yeah, so I love it because as you can see right here on my face, you can see that little, well, you can't see it with this, but it has eye detection autofocus. You can't really see it, but it's a little square that's literally following my eye around.
Got you.
On the camera, it literally follows my eye around, so it's like very good eye detection autofocus. This is a Sigma 16 millimeter lens.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a Sigma 16. I didn't used to use the hood, but I started using the hood because it keeps a lot of the different little glares and artifacts out of the screen when you're live streaming. So I didn't realize that till I tried it one time, and I was like, oh, my camera actually looks better with this hood on. So yeah, so that is the camera I use. I use a Canon M50, and I have 3 of them. I have one right there, if you can see that. Don't laugh at my wife's side of the office, please.
No, we see the camera there.
Yep,
and that's the white one by Yoda, right?
Yep, that's another one.
All
so
right.
I have 3 or I have 4 Canon M50s that you can get. Just so you know, the reason I even go with the Canon M50, just so our Ecamm fam will kind of know the relevance of why I go all in with the M50s, is because with the M50s, it is plug and play with Ecamm. So you don't have to worry about a capture card. You don't have to worry about software. All you literally do is get a USB cable. It has to be a data USB cable, not like a charging cable. And you'll kind of know because the data cables are thicker. They're like thicker and sturdier. Literally, once you plug in your USB cable from the camera to your computer, then Ecamm recognizes it right away. You don't need any type of capture card. So when I found that out, I immediately started pricing the M50s, and you can get the first M50 now. The first one that came out in 2017. The reason I got 4 of them because I keep seeing them on the marketplace for $350, $400.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? They're so cheap. I buy them because I can resell it for $500 or $600, right? Because they're that good. So yeah, I got like 3 or 4 of them now. So yeah.
And how much?
Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on it. I didn't mean to go off on it.
No. I think the lens also is an extra cost, correct? Like maybe $200 or $300 bucks.
Let's be completely transparent. The lens, in the most case, costs more than my camera.
Right.
The M50 Mark II is still pretty like $600, but you can get on the marketplace. You can get your M50s now for $350 to $400 because the new ones came out, so they're selling the old ones for cheaper. But these lenses are $399. You may can find it for $350. So in most cases, the lens, you are absolutely correct, Brant, is actually cost more than the camera itself. Yes.
And yeah, so you're looking at $75 to start out with the C90, and then bumping up to the M50 and the lens, and the reason he's using that lens is so he can get a wide angle and keep it at that distance. If not, you're you're putting it across the room on a tripod, so you want to get that close to you. And so that's what's $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 maybe to get in that setup. And I've been pricing them for.
I actually missed a step too. I mean, I forgot. My second camera was
Top
this
down.
one right here. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
That was my second camera, and that's $150. That's a $150 camera on Amazon. It is a Canon HFR 800, and this camera, man, it looks actually. To be completely honest with you, I'm gonna go to it right now. This camera actually looks really good. It's a really good upgrade.
Is it a video camera or
it's an actual camcorder?
Camcorder. There you go. Yeah. So that's one thing I want people. What I want people to understand is that you can go from. So you seen he spent $75, then he wanted to get a little better, so he got the $150. Then he moved up to the $800 setup. But all of those become extra inputs and extra cameras that you have. So it's not a waste of money. You're just adding to it and getting more shots.
That's a great way to look at it, Brant. Great way to look at it.
Show us real quick all of the shots that you have programmed in.
So I have my main shot here, and then I have, of course, this is now my camera that I use to show my setup. So that's my old first camera, lovely little guy. And then I have my top-down shot. My top-down shot is what you've seen here. I actually just hooked that up because I seen Keith Pelzer and Doc Rock. They all kind of had their top-down shot. So I actually went in my closet and I said, let me see if this works for a top-down shot, and it worked. I mean, I think this looks good. What you think, guys?
Oh, it's great. I love it.
It's really good. So then I have a second camera angle with another M50. It's right here. Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, so
I like that shot.
I actually just kind of started using this shot. I don't even know how it looks, but you guys, I guess it looks
good.
Pretty decent, right?
I like this shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to take 1 or 2 or 3 icons off your desktop, but that's cool.
Just a couple, right? I know, right? I'm horrible. And then I have this shot right here, which is behind me. And so the only thing wrong with this shot is I need a microphone for this shot. So I don't got to do all this because I want to be able to fully turn around. And this was where this was going to come in at. Hold on, let me go back to this camera. I had got the Rode Wireless Goes for this. It worked on my stream just now, but I want to be able to turn around on my setup so I can have my back to my setup.
Gotcha.
And then I can actually turn around and do like this and talk. Hey, what's up, guys? And then kind of talk and kind of engage with my my audience in a different way, So,
one of the things I used to work in TV news, and we would have a bumper shot up in the ceiling to show the the news anchors, and that's kind of what we opened and closed on, or we went to a commercial. And then you have that other one, I like the side angle where you're looking at the camera, and what I usually have 2 cameras set up too. And when you get engaging with your audience, if you really want to emphasize something, you can switch to that camera, point to the look at that camera, and be like, I'm talking to you right now. And that really, and people go like, what, I need more than 1 camera. It really does help engage with the audience if you know how to switch and look at the cameras. And then the top down, of course, if you're doing unboxings and things like that.
Yeah. So when you're competing with, broadcast type quality, you notice that they keep it moving. They keep the camera angles moving. They have sliders. They keep you drawn in and engaged. So absolutely, I'm doing Leap into Live boot camp with Ecamm, and they have me covering engagement, and that's one of the triggers of engagement is just having different angles, different views, so your audience can see you from a different view. Because I'm telling you, it works. Right as they're about to click off, you change that camera angle, now you just bought them for another 3 minutes. You got to buy your time minute by minute when you're live streaming.
I used to be I used to be a technical director for live television, and that's what about the time you feel like you're getting bored with the shot, you're switching.
Yeah.
It becomes kind of a rhythm when you're. But that's one thing I want to explain to everybody. If you've ever worked in TV and you're the technical director, all you have to do is pay attention to the cameras and switch.
Yeah.
When you're a live streamer, you have to watch the audio, you have to watch the camera, you have to watch the data flow on the live. You got to watch the chat. So
there's a lot. There's a lot to
There's
it.
150 things going on.
So
feel like an octopus out here sometimes with 8 arms and
trying to get it all done.
It's crazy.
So as we've talked about, we've missed one piece that I think is also important for people to know because, you know, once
already
we
know what
talk
you're
about
gonna
the
say.
audio, you got
Yep.
your camera, you have your lens. The next important things, of course, is your lights. Like I know
Yes.
it's important for us to light our faces the
Yeah.
right way to get the right color on the cameras. What does your lighting setup look like?
Yeah, man, I really wish my Rode Wireless Go would work right now. I think I must just be doing something wrong, but if it did, I would actually walk you around the studio and just show you. But so let's look at it from just my desktop, and I'll show you from my Logitech C920. So I have my key light, which is this light right here. Sorry if I'm blasting you. It's a newer light. It was about $75. It has barn doors. I like the barn doors
I
because
do
it
like
keeps
the
the light from
barn doors. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it keeps the light from spilling over into my background, as you see my background there. And the reason why I want to keep that from spilling over into the background so my LEDs could pop more, and we'll get into that later. Then I just have a fill light. It's another newer light, but it doesn't have any barn doors. It's just a fill light, right, to light my left side of my face. So if I was to turn my fill light off, I'll show you how that looks real quick. You see how that kind of, some people like that moody look. Some people like that moody, dramatic look. I don't.
Got you.
So I
No
keep
no
that
rim
kinda-
wrap for you, right?
So I keep that kind of plugged in. So now that's just my front lighting. Now I do have some practical lighting in the back, as you see here. I have just a what is it? What is this called? Like a
Hue lamp or something?
it's not a hue lamp, but it's like a vintage. Yeah, it's like a vintage lamp. And
Oh
then
yeah,
I have
like an Edison bulb.
Yeah, like an Edison bulb. I have another
There you
one
go.
right there, and I have another one right above my head, out of the frame. Then I have a little candle flicker light that I keep right by baby Yoda. And then, yeah, other than that, I have these joints. I'll show you real quick. I'm proud of these joints because they're cheap and they're effective. So I like being cheap and effective. Let's go here. And, yeah, I've never showed nobody this, so don't laugh. So on the back of these chairs, I have these you can actually see it. Cool. So they're $20 on Amazon, right? Well, sorry, but these are
No,
like
it's
little.
cool.
All right, cool. So yeah, 15.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brant. You were gonna say something?
No, I see it. We can see the 15-watt IP66, and I think I'm looking
posted
behind me.
this-
I think I have the same ones. That's what's
I
on
know
my
I have them
wall.
as well. I have some as well.
I posted them in the group not too long ago. I said, hey, these are $20. Grab a couple of them. So I actually have one right there hanging on the back of the chair, and I have another one hanging on the back of. Sorry, I'm making y'all dizzy. Sorry. I have another one hanging on the back of my chair right here. The reason I have them hanging on the back of my chairs is because when I used to have them on the floor, they would cast a shadow, and you couldn't see the color. All you would see is a shadow. So I came up with this thing of just hanging them on the back of chairs or hanging them on like a table, so it doesn't cast a shadow up. It just you can see the
Good.
color.
I'm having that
like
trouble
that.
with my set, so I'm gonna do that after we get off. I'll set mine on my chair.
Yeah,
That's
just hang
awesome.
it on something so it can have a straight shot to the wall and doesn't catch any like thing on the ground and cast a shadow up. So, but that's and I do have a hue strip right here in the corner. To be honest with you, a lot of my lighting setup I stole from Marshall Fox. I seen his lighting setup,
Yeah,
and I
he's
said,
got
let me
great
just
lighting.
Yeah, I said, let me just mimic his lighting as best I can, even though I have a totally different space than he has. So anyone watching, that's another thing I know that Strick and Brent always tells you. You can only light your space, your own space to your space, because you can't copy
Right.
other people's lighting if you don't have the, it's not going to look right.
Right.
So you have to dial your lighting in based off your space. So that's my lighting setup. So I would say, honestly, I know what this show is about, so $75, another $30, that's $100 for my key lighting, right? My front lighting, $25 a piece for these floodlights, that's another $50. And yes, the practical lights were $10 or $12. So definitely under $150, $175 is my complete lighting setup. Oh, and I forgot I have these, but we don't have to get into these because I don't necessarily think that this is about my lighting. This is just for like the set, but this
The
doesn't
set
light
design,
me up.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't light me up or anything. So
Well, one thing I love that you're doing is I do the same thing, and I've worked in, like I said, production for many years, and I know, I have always been at that point where I have a 6-foot Kino flow here that was super, super expensive when I was I did production for a living, but and some of the Kino flows and all these other pro lights are so expensive.
Yeah.
The newer products are like in my sweet spot. Then I have the
Yes.
same one you have with the barn doors because I think barn doors are a necessity. It's actually battery powered. I could use it on a field shoot if I wanted to.
Yes.
And they are amazing. I mean, they're really, really good. So
Really
yes,
good.
you can go spend $150 a piece for an Elgato key lights that connect with your Stream Decks and all stuff. But when you're starting out, you just once you can't just buy one. You got to have 4 or 5 lights. And so
Exactly.
and from newer products, newer stands, I'm using newer stands to hold up my cameras, newer tripods.
Yes.
They are at that sweet spot of semi-pro, but at a consumer price point, I think.
Exactly. Prosumer, as they say. And they
I
have
think it's
great
even
customer
above
service too.
prosumer.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, they have great customer service. So if anything breaks, they usually send me out one for free, a new one for free. All I do
There
is
you
write them
go.
on Facebook. Yeah, and they send me a new one for free. So
Wow.
Well, that's what's up.
That is
man.
definitely what's up. Well, Alicio, man, we really appreciate you taking the time to come on to the Stream Show with the Stream guys and talk about
Thank
your
you for
setup.
having me.
Man,
Yeah.
we're family, we're brothers, and man, much success to you. Can you give us really, really quick the name of your show and times when people can contact you
Yeah.
or see your show?
Absolutely. Yeah. Creators on the Come Up. It comes on every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is sponsored by Ecamm. So shout out to the Ecamm fam. And thank you again, bros, for having me on the show. It's my first time on the Stream Show. Yeah. We lit.
There you go.
That's all right.
Hey, you gotta love when you get sponsored segments in your show, right?
That's right.
So big shouts out to Ecamm, who sponsored the Behind the Stream. If you would like for us to go behind your stream to see your setup, I know I said this earlier today, but I'm going to say it again. Go to the streamshow.live. Again, the streamshow.live, and there's a button that says if you would like for us to review your channel. Click that button, fill out the form, and we'll be contacting you to be a part of our show. Brant, another stream show in the bucket here.
I'm just excited that we finally got to speak with Alicio. I know we talked to Alicio a lot on the side. He's got his own shows. We got our own shows. We've never been able to cross paths. I just love his energy. He's infectious. I love following all his stuff, and I'm not just saying that, Alicio. We love everything you do. Why aren't we on the Creators on the Come Up show?
Right. We gotta be creators. We've gotta be in the bucket of creators in the Come Up. But big shouts out to him and his show and what he's doing, man. I love seeing his shows, man. The content that he's putting out,
The guests that he gets.
Yeah, and how they share the information. I mean, you would have to
great.
go through the catalog of all of his guests to hear the different perspectives that they bring to creators, how they do what they do. I mean, there's a show with a young lady named Liz. She was phenomenal. David Foster, his ideas on his group was the last guy that he had on. I mean, I can go on and on about the guests that he's bringing. Tom Buck's show. What I got from Tom's show was Alicio got Tom at a point where he was transitioning. I don't think he announced it he was going to be full-time, but he was coming to be full. And in just that whole energy that Tom brought to Alicio's show about being really excited about where he was in his career at being a creator. I mean, I thought it was very infectious.
The other thing about Alicio is the very first guest that I ever had on one of my shows when I was practicing with Ecamm was Alicio. He actually came on, and that's how I met him. He was live in the park with his kids, and he came in via the iPhone. I was trying to test all the guest features in Ecamm. So thank you, Alicio, for helping me practice.
And he's like, let's book it. Well, put us on the books, brother.
Put us
That's
on
what I'm
the
talking.
books.
Hey, don't pencil me in either. I need you to pen us in. And I guess I'm showing my age, Brent, when I say that. No, you're not using a pencil or a pen either, are you?
Right. Now I'm gonna try to start. I'm trying to shift to this new Rocket book that Ecamm sent us. Trying to play with that a little bit. So for me though, if it goes into my iPhone, right, I put it in my calendar. So we would love to be a part of that. And You know what? I just wanted to thank you, Strick, for hanging out with me this Sunday, even though it's Memorial Day weekend. Everybody else is probably on vacation or went to the lake. We stayed here and we worked and we did what we had to do.
Hot dogs on deck for you?
I think we're gonna do, like I said, we were talking earlier. I'm gonna do ribs tomorrow. So,
oh man,
I haven't done them, and I don't think I've done ribs this year. So this season,
can you just put it in a plastic Ziploc bag and mail it to me?
Yeah, I could do that. We could probably overnight it to Birmingham. But I tell you what,
no other wrapping. Just a Ziploc bag. Put it in mail.
Yeah.
See how long it takes to get to me.
Next time we'll do. Hopefully, if usually in the past it was been before COVID, every year I'd go to Birmingham or to Leeds, Alabama,
right,
and go to the Vintage Motorcycle Festival there. So hopefully, if that happens again this year, I'll come see you. We'll go have barbecue in Birmingham, and maybe we'll do a live show.
Hey, listen, I think I'm coming within 3 hours of you sometime this year. My wife has got an event. It's actually a university that she's supposed to be playing at, and
what's the university?
I'm not really sure. I don't remember. Okay. This week we'll be in Kansas at the Bradford Festival. So she started. Hey, the pandemic is over, man. Forget it. The doors are open to America. People are moving around. We're getting on planes this week to get out of town. So hopefully, I'll get a chance to do a little vlogging so everybody can see it. I'm a great vlogger. I'm a bad vlogger editor.
Well, you don't have to edit. Just vlog live. Just let it go.
There you go. I can do that.
Do it like this, right?
Or
get that LumaFusion. Have you got LumaFusion yet?
I haven't. I'm going to get it because you keep talking about it.
Yeah,
so
you can just edit that right on your phone and just send it up. You'll love it.
That's what I'll do. LumaFusion is going to be my thing.
There you go.
All right. So, Brant, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Everybody, please go to thestreamshow.live. Connect with us. We would love to hear from you. And this has been another great show.
It's been great. We love you all. Have a great and safe holiday tomorrow.
That's what's up.